No one is coming. The earlier you get to realize that, the better for you. When I was young, I always knew, like, as long as my dad and my mom were there, some of my grandparents, I knew someone had my back. Okay, I just knew there's certain places, I'd find myself, and there's someone who's going to come and save me. But as time went on, and both my parents died. May their souls rest in peace. My grandmother's passed on also, one of them. People I could rely on started vanishing one by one. Others, if it's relatives, they have their own lives to live. That's when it started to dawn on me that it comes to a point in your life that you just accept no one is coming. You have to come through for yourself. Well, today I'm here to talk about that, why you feel powerless most of the times, how to stop feeling that in life, business, and in career. Stay with me. Hi, I'm Miss Muithathi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, if this is your first time to see me, welcome. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on the notifications bell so that you're notified once I upload another new video. Also, by you liking and commenting, it helps tell the algorithm, or it helps the algorithm push this video to new viewers. For my returning subscribers, thank you and welcome. Today, I'm talking about the fact that nobody is coming to save you. Okay, forgive me for the background noise. I'm in Tigoni, some place called Anza. I decided to make this video before I go enjoy myself a little. Yeah, it's allowed once in a while. As they say, too much work makes Kui a dull girl, and we will not allow me to be dull, right? So I'll start by explaining or telling you why no one is coming. Like, it's a high time you start mulikaing yourself with that torch. There's no one else there. Okay, so you have to see yourself as the person who comes through for you. As I said, when you're young, or when you have someone else, not imagine even it happens to older people, but I'll explain why. We have the illusion of the rescue fantasy, that even in relationships for women, like, you feel like there's always someone who's going to come and rescue you. When you're a small girl, you feel like your father, your brothers, they'll rescue you. But in 2026, in the life that we are living right now, you just have to come through for yourself. And this is where you'll find, if someone still thinks like that, they think if it's in their career, their boss will come through for them. Okay, if they're still at home, or if their parents are still alive, well and alive, they think their parents will come through for them. Okay, there's people in marriages or in relationships who expect their partners to come through for them. Some are waiting on their mentors to come through for them. A number of people are waiting for something, for that lucky day, just to fix that situation that you're in. You see, all of that I've mentioned, those are passive traps. The moment you're waiting for someone to come through for you, someone to come and save you, you started losing your way back. And that's something I feel like some people don't understand. The earlier you understand you are your own small god, like you are the one, you get to lead you. The earlier you understand that, the better for you. One thing you need to understand is that nowadays, most people are too consumed by their own problems, their own survival. They're wondering how they'll be able to do certain things. They are too busy with their own lives to stop and start thinking about your problems, to stop and start thinking how to solve your problems. And can you blame them? Everyone is fighting for their own. Okay? Your boss has their own life to live. Your parents have their own lives to live. Your relatives have their own lives. Your spouse, don't wait until there's a breakup or there's divorce. That's when you start realizing that you're on your own. All these people, your mentors, your relatives, your uncles, they have their own lives to live. And it's okay if that's what they're fighting for. Another reason why no one is coming is because no one knows the full map. And I say this because even if someone comes through for you, there's a certain level or extent that they can do that. Okay? Because they can't see the whole picture. You're the only person who can see the whole picture. All they can do is listen, okay, and get a fragment of your context. But they would be lying to say they can see things through your eyes. That's impossible. They cannot see your fears. And you can explain, but they cannot fully understand or grasp your fears. Okay? They wouldn't know how to leverage your skills. As in to the full extent. They can do it partially or according to their understanding or according to their effort or capacity. And most importantly, these people won't be able to make the instant decision like that in case an opportunity arises that is required for your success. And you can't blame them. That's another reason why you should come through for you, so that when these opportunities come around, you get to make that split second decision. Okay? Another reason is misaligned incentives. And this is because when you rely on someone else, they can use you. Okay? You're putting yourself out there. Be ready for anything. Don't be surprised. And this is where you'll see most people out there, they just want your stability, not your growth. For example, if you're working for a company, these are not people who are necessarily will be interested in your talents or in your gifts and stuff like that. Their only interest is for you to be a reliable cog. A family member will always want you to be safe. Talking of safety, I remember there was a time back in 2008, 2009, I got a job in Garissa, and I remember I talked to my grandmother about it. Do you know, she said no. She said it's for my safety. A lot of things were happening in Garissa at that time. And then there was a time there was a lot of bad things that were happening there. But she stopped me from going to Garissa. That made me I was stuck for several years before I got another opportunity like that. But she was not coming from a bad place. She was coming from a good place. For her, it was for my safety. And she was thinking, my daughter is just 3 years old, 4 years old. She needs me. You see? That's an example of how a family member will not come through for you necessarily. They are not seeing your troubles or where you're coming from in the name of safety or other things. Okay? For them, they might think they are seeing the bigger picture, which you're not. And funny thing is, they rarely benefit from you taking the high risk path that is required for your breakthrough. And this is why I'm insisting. You have to come through for you. It's a high time you realize you have the keys. Most of us have given these keys to other people for quite a long time. You don't want to sit at the driver's seat. You want someone else to drive your life. You just want to give them instructions. You forget that these people, as I said, they have their own lives. I think that's unfair somehow. We need to stop doing that. Okay? And finally, the myth of someday. Siku moja itajipa. You know that's a myth. And the sun is like on my face here. So I don't know. I'll try and be quick. Nowadays, external validation is fleeting. So if you're seated there waiting for permission from the people I've mentioned, your boss, your parents, your relatives, your mentor, your partner, that permission might never come. Some of them, if they think about it and it does not align with their own paths, they might say no. Okay? But it's to your own detriment. Sasa wewe ndio utaumia because you refuse to take the key. You refuse to take charge of your own life. So what happens? You will wait forever. You'll remain waiting until these people have time for you to make a decision for you. So, of course, they'll put themselves first. Me, I won't put someone unless they are my child. But still, you see, I might decide something which necessarily doesn't favor them, especially when they're young adults, But I'll put myself first. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Every individual puts themselves first. And that's why people are complaining nowadays that people are selfish. They're not selfish. It's allowed. You're allowed to love yourself first. If I don't love myself, how am I supposed to love you? And that's why even in relationships, it's not balanced, because one partner looks like a god because they get to control everything, and the other one looks like a slave. No. Take charge of your life. You see, the outside world, this world we're living in, is not designed to give you closure. So the earlier you get that, the better for you. Now, how do you stop feeling powerless? Especially like the example that I gave you about me. There was a time I used to feel like I was not worried so much, because I was like, my dad is there. If I ever have a problem, he'll come through for me. My grandmother is there. If I ever, things get extreme, I have someone to call. But now, life, they say is things change. You never know what will happen. It got to a point I felt like now there's no one after they passed on. I felt powerless. I felt weak, invisible, but mostly powerless. And that's a horrible place to be. So don't wait until someone dies or you lose someone. Don't wait until you're divorced. Don't wait until you're fired. Don't wait until your business goes down or shuts down for you to start feeling powerful. You need to start doing that now. Okay? Remember, time waits for no one. So how do you stop feeling powerless? Number 1, redefine agency as responsibility. When you do that, it works, because the feeling of powerlessness is the feeling that events are happening to you. Okay? So when you redefine agency as responsibility, that means you start shifting your focus from things that you can't control to things that you can control. For example, things that you cannot control are death, you being fired, being ill, the economy, and most of all, other people's opinions. These are things that you cannot control. Okay? In business and in career, the ability to choose how to respond to whatever happens. You know, those are environments where there's other people who are included. The ability to choose your reaction is the only absolute power that you possess. Number 2, shrink the scope of action. This means stop looking at the entire mountain. It will always look huge to you, humongous. You'll be like, I can't. So stop looking at it from that angle. May it be fixing a failing business, or you trying to get a promotion. Because when you look at it like a huge when you look at it like a huge mountain, it will cause paralysis to you. And that's something that we don't want. Okay? Because when you're paralyzed, it means you're not moving, you'll be stuck. Okay? You're shocked. You're like, I can't do this. What happens? At the end of the day, you end up losing because you won't make any action, you won't do anything. So here's what you do. Stop trying to solve everything all at once. Okay? If you've listened to some of my videos I've made, you know, you tackle one thing at a time. Okay? There's 2-minute rule, there's eat the frog, there's stuff like that. Okay? You start with the small ones, the ones you feel you're capable of doing now. Otherwise, if you want to do everything all at once, you'll break yourself. You can do something like focusing on a 30-minute window. Ask yourself, what is it that I can do right now that can make a difference? What is it? What action can I take now that will make a huge difference? Especially one decision that doesn't require anyone else's permission. Just me. Recognize what that thing is and do it. Okay? Remember, momentum is built through tiny unilateral wins. Those small wins. You start with something small, it's a win. Eventually it becomes a huge win. Let nobody tell you otherwise. So you better start. Take these matters in your hands. Number 3, stop asking, okay, and start deciding. Do you know how asking is giving people power? You're giving out your power. So this is me telling you to take back your power. Stop asking people. As long as you're an adult, start deciding. And this works because powerlessness thrives when you can't decide. Every time you can't decide on anything, you feel or you become powerless. Okay? If you are the kind of person who's constantly seeking external approval or validation, this is you giving power to other people. So here is what you do, especially when it comes to your business or career. Replace statements like, can I do this? You borrowing permission, asking for permission. Or, what should I do? Hey, answer that question. You don't know what to do. What should I do? I feel that's a question a child should be asking, not an adult. Okay. Replace those questions with, I can do this. I got this. I can do this. Okay? Jitume. Believe in yourself. Imagine you'd be surprised, you'd be amazed the things you can do. You know, self-esteem and believing in yourself is something that is very important in this life. Start believing in yourself, okay? I'm not asking you to start doing huge things. The small things, okay? Watch yourself. Bottom line is just start. So start with, I can do this, and you adjust as you go. Don't expect perfection. Okay? We are humans. You'll adjust as you go. Also, learn as you go. Make a decision. Today, now, even if it's a wrong one, but you decide. Don't be afraid of wrong decisions. That's how you generate data. That's how people learn. Everything we are learning. Someone tried, started, they made several decisions. Before something works, people make mistakes. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's how. Even this car I'm driving, before it became a car like this, do you know how many mistakes they made? What if they stopped? Don't do that, okay? Even electricity, everything, literally everything I'm using, the camera, this mic, do you know how many mistakes they made? But it didn't stop them from moving forward. So the same applies to you. In your business, in your marriage, in your relationship, in your career, in life. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. People learn through mistakes. That's how you collect or you gather data. Because the more you sit there waiting, the more anxious you'll become. It's just generating anxiety. And then at the end of the day, it's costing you what? Just because you refuse to take the power in your hands. Don't do that to yourself. The fourth thing that you need to do that will help you stop feeling like you're powerless is separate feelings from facts. Okay? These are two different things. And this is because feeling powerlessness, that's emotional. When you're feeling like you're powerless, that's an emotion. It is not a reality. Don't confuse the two. So here's what you do, on a piece of paper, draw, have two columns, right? In the first column, this is where you list what it is that you feel. It's raining, yeah? In column 1, you write what it is that you're feeling. For example, I feel like I'm failing. Right there. Write it down, okay? Because in this life, as long as you're alive, there are moments you will feel like you're not powerful. You'll feel like you're useless. You're not useful. I am not saying it won't happen. What I'm saying is, it should not control your life. Okay? What I am saying is, you can make better decisions. What I am saying is, don't dwell in that emotion. It is just an emotion. Okay? In column 2, list what is actually happening. Separate them. For example, you can write in column 2, I have 50,000 Kenya shillings in my bank account, or something like, I sent 3 proposals this week. Okay? When you do this, it will help break the emotional spiral, and it will help you see where your leverage is. Okay? It will stop you from feeling like you're powerless. Because that's where you'll strike a balance. You'll see the balance. But if you don't write it down, if you don't put it down, it's in human nature. You'll find yourself leaning more to one side. And most of the times, most of us don't know how to control our emotions. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us. So you'll find yourself leaning to the feeling. You're feeling more powerless. Also, be very careful the people you surround yourself with. As I mentioned earlier, if they're getting something out of you, they might not necessarily want you to grow. Okay? They'll want that comfort zone. So be very careful. When you're feeling powerless, when you're feeling emotional, you're feeling low, try seclude yourself. Try and retract. Go watch my video I made about going ghost. Go ghost for a moment. Okay? Take time. Think about it. Write down. Draw that 2 columns that I've told you. Okay? Try and strike a balance before you put yourself out where people are. Because remember, at the end of the day, most people are out here to use you. So you better be very careful. Protect your emotions. Protect yourself. Especially when you're feeling like you're powerless. Okay? Lastly, build a no permission zone. You do know you feel powerless because you've outsourced your authority to external structures, right? You feel powerless because you feel your boss is the one in power. You feel powerless in your marriage because you feel your spouse is the one who has the power. For instance, the husband or the man has the power. But you gave him that power. That's what you forget. And if you can give the power, you can always take it back. So. You feel powerless because you outsourced your authority from a client, from someone else, from without instead of from within. Stop doing that. Okay? So do this. Identify one area in your life, in your career. It can be a skill, a project, a savings account. It can be literally anything. Okay? That you manage with zero oversight. Find out what that is. Once you find what this is, cultivate it rigorously. Because when you do this, it serves a psychological proof to yourself, to you, that you are the CEO of your own existence. Okay? It just stopped raining all of a sudden. That's the only way you'll feel powerful, or you'll start feeling powerful again. Okay? Regardless of external circumstances. So you see, that feeling that you have right now is just emotions. Okay? I don't know what triggered it. Okay? You might have lost someone, or your job, or your business just went down. Okay? That's external factors. Okay? Remember, as you pray also, you ask God to give you the wisdom to know the difference between things you can change and things you cannot change. Okay? And the moment you're going through things you know you cannot change, be calm. Ask God to give you the strength to accept things that you cannot change and to be at peace with them. Okay. Your emotions, once in a while, they will overwhelm you. There are moments you'll feel like you cannot do anything. But my point is, don't dwell on your emotions. Don't dwell in that moment. Eventually, give yourself a few days off, away from people. But the moment you start feeling better, look for something that you can do that will make you feel powerful. Something that you can do, and be in control of. Okay? And don't bring people in, because it already shows you had a weakness. Do it by yourself. If it's a small business you need to start, do it by yourself. If it fails, okay. I don't know why people make it look like if you start a business and it fails, something is wrong. No, we all make mistakes. Even me, I've started several businesses. I've done the number of businesses that have failed. Topic for another day. But imagine they've never broken me. I feel bad, but I have lessons that I've learned that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. They don't stop me from becoming or trying to become a better person. Okay? And another thing, stop giving people all your power. Don't do that. Don't be nice. There's a difference between being nice and being respected and likable. Okay? I think that's the video I made. That's the last video I made. Go check it out. Stop being nice. Okay? People out here, all they need is respect. They don't need your niceness. Okay? Stop giving people your power. That's how they use you. You don't want that. And remember, they'll always put themselves first. They come first before you. I can tell you I love you. And I'm not lying. It's true, I love you. But before you cross, if we are drowning, I'll first try and save myself before I save you. Okay? So, the moment you know that, the earlier you start rocking your own boat. Stop being afraid of rocking that boat. Stop sitting still and giving people the power to do what they want. You'll find yourself in places you didn't want to be. Life, let's assume life is like this car, right? If you refuse to drive and you allow someone else to drive, if they decide to stop, you cannot blame them. If they decide to change direction, all you can do is get angry, complain about it, but you'll find yourself in a destination that you have nothing to do with. Okay? So please, take control of your life. If you want great results, don't be afraid to take control. Yes, you'll be afraid. You'll feel like you can't do it. But the moment you start, that's it. Okay? I remember when I bought my car. Yes, as much as I had gone for driving lessons, my dad was still alive back then, yeah. And I only have brothers, I don't have a sister. My mom died a long time ago, so I grew up with my brothers and my dad. So I knew some things is just men who do. So I thought, even if I buy a car, eventually, if I get married or if I'm in a relationship, it's the man who's supposed to be driving and doing these things. My friend, Kilinir. That time I was buying my car, I was in a relationship. Who will not tell you that was the same time I lost my dad. It was also the same time I broke up with my guy, my boyfriend, whoever, whatever. Yeah. I was forced. I used to, every opportunity I would get, I would just ensure someone else is driving, not me. I was forced to take the wheel. Okay? The traffic jams in the city, these doovy guys, motorbikes, I had to deal with it. I'm telling you, I was afraid. You forget at the time you are going to this driving school, you are like telling people, I'll be driving myself. So you drive and all that, but you're still afraid. My friend, life happened. I was forced to take the wheel. I was afraid, but I didn't have any other option because I had to do my business. Okay? I can't disappoint my clients. I couldn't afford that. So I had to do it. Right now, there's no way I can't drive. Actually, I'm just like, is this what I was afraid of? I went from feeling powerless to being powerful. Okay? Because I realized all it takes is just a decision from me. I decided, no, I don't want to live like this. I have to be better. Okay? Choose to be better for yourself. Okay? It's okay if you have a boss who's nice. Good. It's okay if you have a spouse who supports you, who does all these things for you. It's okay. You're lucky if you have a mentor. Okay? But remember, there's outside forces. And this is life. Nothing is perfect. Nothing goes a straight line. Anything is bound to happen. When shit happens, how prepared are you? How strong are you? How powerful do you feel you are? Let that be food for thought. Well, I hope you've liked, subscribed, and you better send me a comment. Even if you're saying hi, I'll try and say hi back to you. Okay? That's it for us today. I hope this helps someone. If you feel some type of way, let me know in the comment section. But be nice. I'm not that strong, okay, for weird comments. As I told you, it's Friday. It's Friday. I want to go maybe dance to 1 and 2 songs and then I head home. As you can see, it's starting to get dark. It was nice talking to you. I'm Miss Muithathi, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on. Cheers. Cheers. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Let me go dance inside there with the rest of the people. You know, we are the people who go home very early. Because I don't even have company. Story for another day. See ya.